Well, let's answer that in a couple of different ways. Firstly, let's take ourselves back to Roman times when you might go out and buy a beautiful sculpture. You'd bring it home, put it in pride of place, and when the day got a little bit hot, actually the sculpture that wasn't authentic would actually leak out and seep out some wax and expose the cracks, the indentations, the imperfections that were thought not to be there because they were so well covered with wax. So what happened in those days was that the buyers became pretty savvy and decided they wanted their marble statues put under fire before they bought them to see whether they're the real thing, whether they were without wax or whether they were fakes, whether they were with wax. And I think that's a great description for leadership as well, because leaders are either seen to be authentic without wax, or they're seen to be fake and with wax and with imperfections covered over, glossed over, and might look good on the outside, but under pressure, under fire, under challenge, those imperfections show through. Well, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that actually right now that the confidence, the faith and the trust in our leadership, whether it's in Australia or across the world, is at an all-time low. And that's absolutely true of business leaders. Business leaders are not seen to be trustworthy, authentic, genuine. They're seen to be self-interested. The big CEO salaries only exacerbate that, add fuel to the fire. And there's been a lot of failures of leadership, or what is seen to be failures of leadership by our community, by our governments. And you think of some examples. The banking industry in particular has had a massive spotlight shone on it over the last 12, 18 months. Yeah, so can a leader become more authentic? Can a leopard change its spots? So obviously we can change what we do, and we can, as we change what we do, we can begin to change some perceptions of who we are. But again, that's changing the facade, that's changing the outcome. I think you can really only change what you do in the long term in a sustainable way, and to have that change in tough and difficult circumstances and under fire, if you actually change from the inside out. What a great question. Is authentic leadership compatible with sustainable high performance, or can sustainable high performance be achieved by just not being authentic, by just being self-serving and making as much profit as you can? I think there's actual paradox. I actually think the more profit you try to make, the less profit you'll make in the long run. And that sounds a bit crazy, but let me just take us through that. So if your focus is 100% on making profit, then you maximise your income and you minimise your costs. And if that's your absolute focus, then your employee costs, which is the biggest cost for most organisations, is a big factor in that. And if you need to reduce your costs, then basically you're saying your employees are dispensable. You can get rid of them to achieve greater profits. You're actually also saying that, yeah, and you might want to get rid of some customers too, because they're getting in the way of you making more money.